Namaste. Welcome everyone. My name is Todd Norian and I'm the founder of Ashaya Yoga. Hey, you can spread more love and light by sharing this video with your friends. It's a time now in the world we just need to have more peace. So please, if you know people that could really benefit from becoming more centered and strong in themselves, please share this with your friends. Today we're going to work on an incredible set of poses leading up to our apex pose called Urdva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow pose and upward bow. And it's really an intermediate level pose, but we're going to build to it gradually. And this posture is so amazing because it's really great if you need more flexibility in your hips and your lower back, but also if you need to loosen up your upper back and shoulders. So it really develops flexibility and it provides a tremendous amount of strength. So in the Ashaya Method, we learned how to align our body to what's optimal for the structures and muscles and bones and joints of the body. And part of how we do that is to actually draw in. And it's a beautiful teaching that before we can express ourselves in the world, we need to pull in to ourselves, get connected to ourselves, find our center in the storm, go to that place of calm in the chaos. And then from that place, we enter into our relationships and we express the light that we have. So today, in addition to all the physical movement, I'm going to help you focus on how to get centered and how to really touch and honor that deep part of yourself where you can tap into the inner peace and inner calm. And then from that place, we radiate out. Let's get started. You're going to need a couple of blankets today, a couple of yoga blocks like this. You could use a stack of books if you don't have a block like this. And the blankets should be thick blankets, like utility blankets, and a wall. So we're going to start off with some simple stretches at the wall to get the shoulders open. So come up to standing. So stand about 2 feet from your wall. Stretch your arms up, lean in toward the wall, place your hands. And the first part about how to open up for this pose is to loosen up the upper back. And how many of us have like really tight upper backs? So the key is that you can't really soften the upper back until you draw your arm bones back. So again, the concept of you got to pull in first before you can radiate out. So bring your hands up, 2 feet back, feet are parallel. And then bend your knees a bit, move your hips way back, stick your butt out. And now lean in toward the wall. This is called the shower pose. So you can look up, imagine you're in a really nice warm hot shower, we could say. And claw your hands into the wall, so that's the pads and the roots of your fingers. And then pull from your hands up into your heart and try to pull your armpits back. So the armpit area right here needs to pull way back like this. So give it a try. Press the wall, but pull your armpits back, and then soften and melt the space right between the shoulder blades. We call that melt the heart. So I'm asking you to do two opposite things. Pull your arm bones back and soften. Armpits back, draw into your center, pull into the calm space inside, and then melt the upper back, and then shine and extend your heart toward the wall. Armpits back, heart towards the wall. You'll feel a stretch in your arms, especially the upper arms. Continue to pull the head of your arm bones back with that longing for peace, a longing to be centered in yourself, where you feel strong, where you're not easily swayed. We want to pull into that spot. Very good. Now lift your head just a little bit. What happens if we hang the head down like this? That rounds the shoulders in the opposite direction. So take your head back. It's much easier to lift your armpits. And then with the arm bones back, heart forward. Take a couple more deep breaths. Now really start to push your heart toward the wall. Keep your arm bones back. And release. Shake out your arms and your wrists. So that is a really good one for the upper back. So now, step back a little further and bring your hands further down. So your hands are at just hip level or a little bit higher. Bend your knees a lot. Now we work the hips. Hug your shins into the middle. Get centered. And then move your inner thighs back. Lift your sitting bones and try to arch your low back. Get a low back curve. Then pull your tailbone in to lengthen the curve. From your pelvis, root your feet, and from your pelvis, push your hands into the wall and just grow your spine with length. Then pull in from hands to the heart and lift the armpits up just like we did in shower pose, but now the position is a little different. Armpits up, and here you want to lift the inner edge of your armpit. That's this inner edge. So there's the outer and there's the inner. That part goes up more, and it will help you externally rotate the upper arm bone, which brings the head of the arm bones back, and then melt the upper back and extend your heart forward. Breathe. Every inhalation with longing for that centered, calm inner peace. Pull in. And then as you exhale from the center within, expand in all directions. Release, walk in towards the wall a little bit, come up, and there we are. Okay, now come back to your mat and come into downward facing dog pose. You can feel and sense, it's a little bit easier now because we've already done the opening. Bend your knees a lot. And just like at the wall, pull up from your hands to your shoulders and lift your armpits way up. As your armpits go up, melt your heart down. Yeah, bend your knees a lot. And then from your heart, shine through your hands. And from your heart, take the base of your shins back to get the legs to stretch a bit more. And then exhale, big lunge forward with your right foot. Squeeze your legs in toward the middle. Pull your legs, scissor your legs, hands to hips. So now balance is kind of an issue. So no worries if you're a little bit wobbly. It's good practice actually to learn how to hug in and get strong. So pull into the middle and now stretch your arms up. Come down halfway and pull your armpits back again to get the upper back to open, and then stretch. Now, the back thigh, your left thigh, needs to lift up a little bit more, and the outer right hip crease goes back and down. To assist that, bring your left hand to the back of your left thigh and just push your thigh up into your hand. As you do that, bend your front knee more. And this is going to stretch the front of the left hip, the muscle called the psoas muscle, which is partly what grips really tightly in the back here. So this is going to open that up. And then arch back a bit. We're going to go in the direction of a back bend. And then from your pelvis, root down into the earth. And from your pelvis, rise up, arch back more. Just keeping your mind's eye. Okay, I'm getting more flexible. I'm getting stronger. Hang in there with it. You got to affirm this method really, really works. Yoga is one of the best things you can do for your body, mind, and heart. Inhale, left arm up. Sweep your arms out to the side. Exhale, come down. And go back to downward facing dog pose. And breathe. It's normal to feel a little fatigue. And with the breath, that fatigue will disappear. You'll come back to your center. Exhale. Left foot forward, hug your legs, come up hands to hips. Soften, open, find your breath again. Remember, you're connected to a much bigger energy, this universal energy that flows. We want to tap into it, so pull in. Pull universal energy in, squeeze your legs, hug in, get centered. Inhale, stretch your arms up. And then radiate out from your pelvis through your right heel. And from your pelvis straight out through the left shin. and breathe. Every inhalation, hug in with the longing to find the calm center within. Every exhalation, radiate out, shine your light. Bring more light and peace into the world. Okay, right thigh up, left hip back and down. Let's assist that. So put your right hand on the back of your right thigh and push your right leg up into your hand. Now pull your tailbone down and it goes forward. But you keep lifting the back leg. So right thigh up, curl back, arch back, breathe. Imagine you could shine out from the pelvis, but also from the heart. What do you want to put out into this world? How about light? How about more peace? How about calm? Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, sweep your arms out to the side. Come down to plank position, inhale. And then exhale, come to Chaturanga Dandasana. And then all the way down. Stretch your toes back, hug your legs. Roll your thighs in a bit, tailbone in. And then inhale, come up to Cobra. Claw, pads and roots of your hands, pull isometrically backwards. Draw in with calm, head of the arm bones back. Shoulder blades pull down the back. When you're calm and centered, you have the strength to do the right thing, to actually help people, to serve more. So the shoulder blades flow down the back, but the front of the heart lifts up. Good. You should be staying out of any low back pain. If you have low back pain, pull from your feet to your pelvis. Hug the muscles of your legs onto the bones more. You need more earth. Also, you could come down partway and go more for length. Pull your tailbone in more. When you pull your tail in, notice how your low belly pulls in and up. It's like a miracle. Awesome. We'll hold for 20 more minutes. Kidding. And exhale, come down. Lengthen as you come down. Push back down, facing dog pose. And then walk in step by step by step. Root your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms out to the side. Root your feet down to come up. Reach up. Exhale. Release, palms in front. Take a wide stance. We're going to do one more. Do another standing pose. Stretch your arms out, parallel your feet, and get your ankles as wide apart as your wrists are wide. That's wide. And then look down at your feet. Feet are parallel. Hug to the middle. Hands to hips. Turn your right foot open. Hug your legs. Bend your right knee. And then go down to your forearm. Hold and breathe. Turn your thighs in and move your thighs back. Especially this back thigh has to go back behind you. This is great for opening up hips. Then pull your tailbone in. Take your left arm straight out in front. And that same idea where you hollow the armpits. Do that. So you pull in from the place of inner calm. Shine out. Stretch your arm overhead. Thumb up if you can. For those of you with a little more flexibility, you can bring your right hand down to the floor on eagle talons. Bigger hip stretch. Everybody from your pelvis root your feet. Bring your pelvis down toward the floor more. Go for a deeper stretch. And as you root the earth, reach through your left fingers more. Root through your feet. Inhale, come up. Hands to hips. Parallel your feet. Right foot square to the back edge. Turn your left foot open. Hug. Bend. Forearm. And pause. Take a breath. And hug in to the calm center. And breathe. Thighs back. Tailbone in. Same thing with this arm. Right arm out in front. Get your armpit to go back. This is how we're going to open up the upper back area. You've got to get the armpit to move more. Then stretch your arm. I bet you never thought your armpits were so important in the practice of yoga. I'm going to call it armpit yoga. How about that? Really pull the armpit back. Then turn your heart up to the sky. for that little extra stretch, for those that can, bring your right fingers down. Everybody bend your front knee more. And then from your pelvis, root through your legs, and from your pelvis, radiate out. Every in-breath with inner calm, pull in, and every out-breath, radiate more peace. Root through your feet. And inhale, come up, feet parallel, hands to hips. And there you go. So just trying to get your body a little bit warmed up because we've got to get this whole spine to open. We've been working on hips and shoulders. We just did a really good one for the back. So let's now stretch the quads, and we're almost there. So come down onto your belly and bring your right forearm in front parallel to the short edge of your mat. Bend your left knee, reach back with your left hand, and hold the inner edge of the foot if you can. And press your left knee down, drag it isometrically forward, and then pull your tailbone in. So we want to get more leverage on the quadricep muscle. So here's a way you can do it. Your thumb is on the inner edge of the big toe, and then you spin the thumb down, elbow up. So it's this little maneuver, a pivot of the hand. Hold right below the toes. Curl your toes over your hand. Okay? Now if you can't do that, you're just going to hold the foot. But if you can get the elbow to bend, now pull your tailbone in more. Okay, here's where the stretch comes. You're already getting a stretch? Okay, I heard that. All right, turn your heart toward the front. Yes. Lift your torso more. Take the left shoulder back and try to hug the left shoulder blade deeper into the back ribs. Lift your heart, lift your head, and take your palate back, center of the roof of the mouth. For those that are more bendy, you just want a little more stretch, pivot on your right elbow till your palm comes out and push your hand down. Urdva Dhanurasana 2. This is the half frog, a little more advanced variation. Breathe. How you know you can do this pose is you still have a pulse and you can still breathe. Discomfort is okay. Mild, tolerable discomfort is fine. Pain is not okay. So then exhale, come down and release. Make a pillow with your hands. Turn your head to the side and rest. This is how we build flexibility. Bring your left forearm in front. Bend your right knee. Hold your right foot, right hand. Keep your right knee straight back behind the hip. And then heel to hip. Tailbone in, belly back. Try now to bring your hand so your thumb is up and your thumb is on the inner edge of the big toe. And then you pivot the thumb down while the elbow goes up. Curl your toes over your hand. Root the right knee down, drag isometrically forward, belly in, and then stretch your heart forward. Lengthen your side ribs, head of your arm bones back, and try to hug now the right shoulder blade into the back ribs. Hug in with longing to be centered, to find yourself, to really honor yourself. You have to honor yourself first before you're ready to actually serve and make a difference. When you're centered, everybody else gets more centered around you. For a little bit deeper stretch now, pivot on the left elbow, come up onto the left hand. Shoulders back, lift your heart, and then take your palate back. And breathe. Turn your ribs slightly more to the left, but pull your tailbone in more, especially on the right side. You pull the right hip back and down toward the floor. And exhale. Release. Again, rest, make a pillow with your hands, but turn your head to the opposite side this time. When you're centered and calm within, you can think clearly. When you think clearly, you speak clearly. And when you're in your heart, what comes out of you is kindness. We need more of that. Okay, let's try this next pose. It's kind of a warm-up for Urdva Dhanurasana. It's called Dhanurasana, which means bow pose. Dhanu is the bow. You might have some challenges holding your feet. So you can grab yourself a belt. And actually, I like doing this with 2 belts. Let me just show this. This isn't actually the pose that we're going for, but I want to show you how to get this one just right. So you make a loop. You don't have to clasp. Make a clasp loop, just hold it like this. And so you lasso one foot, just like this. And then see if you can do the other foot. This is kind of a trick in and of itself, not so easy. There you go. Once you've got both feet in the loop, you choke up on the belt, okay, and then you'll be able to do the rest. If you can reach, then you won't need the belts. Reach back for your feet. Hold the place where the foot and ankle join. Knees close. Turn your feet out. Roll your thighs in, tailbone in, and then go up. Then you push the feet back into the hands. It's a tremendous shoulder stretch. But turn your feet out and spread your little toes. That's going to protect your knees. And also keep your knees a little closer in, so your hip distance rather than knee splayed way out. Okay, lengthen your spine, head of the arm bones back. Pull the bowstring now. Press your feet back into your hands. And then lift your toes straight up. And lift up through the top of your head. Breathe. Hug in, draw into the place of inner calm, even though this is very intense. And then radiate out. Shine your light. And exhale. Come on down. And rest. Become aware of the flow of energy. And you may experience some heat. That's good. All right. Press your hands down into the floor and come up. We're almost there. I'd like to show you how to get up into this pose that makes it easier for the wrist, so that when your wrist is pulled back all the way like a 90-degree angle, we get really weak. It's hard. But if you were to put your wrist at only 45, you have a lot more strength. You can recruit all the muscles. So we're going to do that. In addition, I want you to elevate your spine so that you don't have to push up so much. The alternative posture that you can try is called bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. And bridge pose is great, but you know what? Bridge does not get into the depth of the opening we need for a flexible thoracic spine. That's the upper back. And it doesn't really build the strength in shoulders and arms the way that Urdva Dhanurasana does. So I'm going to invite you to know that you can do bridge pose, which is this. Still a great posture like this. Okay? That's going to be your modification. But I want to encourage you to try this. Even if you can't get up, I want you to get the placement of the hands, get the movements, and see if you can pull your armpits back in this position, because that action is what's going to eventually lead you into the pose. All right, so now you need to get to the wall and put your mat all the way up against the wall. Take 2 blocks or very thick books place them at a 45-degree angle, shoulder distance apart at the wall. Okay, and at 45, they're not gonna slip. You can put pressure on there. You can feel it. Nope, they're totally solid. And then take your blankets. We're gonna unfold them like this and fold along the long edge. We want it to be very smooth. The long edge this way. So you make like a little bolster. And let's do two. If you have bolsters, use those. But these blankets work just fine. Okay, so that is really good elevation. So I'm going to lie over these bolsters, and my head will go between the blocks, and then my hands will be on the blocks, and that's going to give me the 45-degree angle, which recruits a lot more strength. All right, here we go. So, hips are up on the blanket, head is just off the blanket, place your hands on the blocks, and then bend your knees, feet parallel, hip distance or slightly wider, but don't turn your toes out. Keep your feet glued to the floor, parallel. And then claw the blocks with your hands. Get as much of the flat surface of your palm on the block. And then lengthen your sides. Now pull your armpits back. This is a key feature. You gotta pull armpits back. Draw into your center. And then inhale, push your feet down and lift your hips, lift your chest. And then push the blocks and see if you can stretch your arms straight and come up. Pull your tailbone in more. Yes, now curl your head back. Pull your armpits back. Yep, press into the blocks. Perfect. Now, armpits back, but then shine out and press your heart forward toward the wall. And breathe. Pull your tailbone in. You can even walk your feet in a little more if you want to go higher. And then exhale. Slowly come down. Pull your chin towards your chest. Shoulders on the bolster and then hips down. Okay. Awesome. You just did Urdva Dhanurasana. Good for you. Let's try it in the middle of the floor now. So you may repeat that if you want, or bring your mat back. We'll keep the bolsters because they're really very supportive. And reposition your blankets. Sit on the blanket. Come on back. Head comes a little bit off the blanket here. And then place your hands. So a good practice now is to claw the finger pads. I want your pads to claw down more than the palm, the heel of the palm of the hand. So claw fingers more. And then pull your armpits back toward the floor. Armpits down toward the floor. Breathe. And then inhale. Hips up, chest up. You come lightly to the top of the head. You can put right on the blanket. Then claw your hands, index fingers parallel, and pull your armpits back again, heart forward, and then go all the way up. Pull your head back. Try to look at your fingertips. For those that can, walk your feet in a little bit more. From your pelvis, root your feet. And from your pelvis, rise, shine more. Pull into the calm center within, and then radiate out. Armpits back. And exhale, chin to chest. Come on down. Aim for your shoulders. And breathe. Carefully come up. Oh. Okay. That was awesome. Urdva Dhanurasana, upward bow. Come on to your back, a little cool down. And pull your right knee into your chest. Stretch your left leg out, left thigh down to the floor.
And then press your knee into your hands. Create a little curve, a little arch in your low back. And then right knee to chest. And then stretch your leg up, hold the back of your thigh, and push your right thigh into your hands to get your hamstrings to open up. When you arch backwards, the back of the body tightens and contracts while the front body opens. So after a big deep back bend, we want to open up the back body again to find the balance. Good. Okay, now bend your right knee, put your right foot on your right left thigh. We're going to go into a little bit of a knee down twist, just super easy. Right knee crosses down to the left, and then take your right arm. You can try it up overhead, and then eventually out to the right. Turn your head to look up, and maybe you can look a little bit more toward the right. Press your knee toward the floor, but also your right shoulder blade toward the floor. And there you'll find the stretch. Breathe. When you inhale, hug in to your calm center within. And as you exhale from the pelvis, radiate out. Let the light shine. And inhale, come back to center. That was good. Left knee to chest, pull it in. Stretch your right leg out, right thigh to the floor. Push your knee into your hands, lower back arch. Stretch. Then stretch your left leg up, hold the back of your thigh, and push your thigh back into your hands. Yeah, both thighs go back. Low back arch. And stretch from your pelvis, just shine out all the way up through your left foot, out through your right foot as well. Inhale, affirm the calm center within, draw into it. With self-honor, pull in. Self-nurturance, pull in. Yoga always says, you matter. You got to take care of yourself first before you can help the world. So nourish yourself, then help others. Exhale, bend the left knee, put the left foot on the right thigh. Here we go. Twist, left knee to the right. Take your thighs back, tail in. And then experiment with your left arm. You try overhead first. And then use your breath to sweep your arm out to the side. Left shoulder blade toward the floor. Just try to breathe it down. At the same time, give a little pressure. Right hand on the left knee. And then from your pelvis, push straight out through your right foot. Nourish yourself with this pose. Relax deeply. And now inhale, come up to center. Both knees to chest. Pull in. Now widen the knees. Yep. Turn your feet out a little bit. So it's like an inner thigh stretch, inner hip stretch with the knees wide. Inner rotate your thighs, arch your back more. Yep. Try to bring the base of your sacrum toward the floor where your sitting bones are. Good. You'll get a nice deep stretch along the inner thighs. Also, the pelvic floor will stretch here. And then bring the soles of your feet together down on the floor and let your knees go wide. From your pelvis, just push straight out through your knees. And then knees together. And then stretch one leg out, then the other, just a minute or so here, palms up, close your eyes, and let yourself relax deeply. And here during this
relaxation. It's like an important time for integration. Receive all the benefits of the practice. Both flexibility and strength. Draw even more deeply now into the calm center within. Relax your muscles. Let your bones descend. Hips get really heavy. Shoulders heavy. Let the back of your head descend. And then relax your jaw and your tongue. And then release your eyes. Let the eyes get very heavy, and imagine that they could descend to the back of the skull. The way that a smooth, round pebble, when you throw it in a pond, it descends to the sandy bottom beneath. The eyes relax. And now your whole body relaxed. Bathe in the rejuvenation of the calm center within. And then slowly begin to return. Move your fingers and your toes. Bend your knees in, roll to the side. Come on up to sitting. And just take a comfortable seat. Lengthen through your spine. Take your shoulders back. Feel how much more open your upper body is. Hips are open as well. And then bring your palms together in front of your heart. Close your eyes, draw into the calm center within. And however you're able to nourish yourself, just breathe into the calm inner peace. And then from the center of your heart, radiate this light out into the world to bring more calm, more centeredness onto the planet. And envision the entire planet filled with light, filled with kindness. Even where kindness doesn't exist right now, envision it, pray for it, offer it. Let's join our hearts together in the calm center within. When you're in your heart and I'm in mine, we are one. Let's take a deep breath and chant Om. And to your own heart, gently bow. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. Thanks for taking the time to care for yourself. And please do share this video with others you know who need more peace, who need to connect in with that inner calm, and maybe those that need a little more flexibility and strength, particularly in the hips and the shoulders and the spine. This is a good one for that. All right, take care. See you next time. Blessings.